mom's awaiting her murder trial, and everyone at school is looking at me like I'm in the circus. It's fun. Your college essay writes itself.
You know, this season ends on another cliffhanger. Shocking, I know.
Right. Well, I think just that. It's going to change the dynamic of everything.
Congratulations, season 3, we're back. Which I know fans are like, they can't wait for this.
Oh my God.
I'm sure you've seen all the comments.
So patient.
Well, it's because you left on a big cliffhanger.
I know.
Happiness is the scariest thing to be. Once you're happy, you have so much more to lose.
There's so much that happens this season.
There is, yeah.
And I actually want to start with this because Georgia may be on trial for murder, but can we talk about the looks she's serving in the courtroom? I mean, what did you think of when you got to do the costume fitting and see all the outfits where you're like, this makes sense?
Oh, absolutely. Optics matter.
They do.
I feel like Georgia was probably, you know, watching other trials happening around her, taking notes, figuring out. I mean, it's optics. And Georgia, it's the one thing she had in her control this season was how she looked, what she was wearing, how she presenting herself.
From the first time she's in front of that judge, right? I'm gonna wear the wedding dress.
Right, right. It goes to show that no matter how dark this season gets, that Georgia's still in there.
I love it. Courthouse couture, you know?
Courthouse couture.
Obviously, Georgia is a fiercely protective mama, and Brianne, you went into the season now as a mom yourself.
That's right.
How did your own experience with motherhood kind of maybe shift your idea or views of Georgia now?
I think the one thing that surprised me the most, I'm already a pretty emotional being. I didn't know my heart would get even bigger. So to have this be Georgia's breakdown season, I was having a hard time.
I didn't protect you. I failed. I ruined your life. I wanted to give you a good life. To open every door for you that never opened for me, and I failed. I ruined it. I ruined everything. Oh.
So much happens. They evolve so much. They learn so many hard lessons. And I already felt like my emotions were already so on the forefront.
Like right here,
already. So yeah, it was challenging, and I feel like it definitely stuck me where it hurt. But it was a really fun journey for these characters to go on, and despite the emotions and the drama, I loved seeing the community and the lengths that these two characters go to be together.
And you did protect us.
We kind of see like a darker side of Ginny by the end of the season, you know,
we do.
like in particular, like with Austin and kind of throwing his dad Gil under the bus at the end there.
I saw it. I was in the room. I saw the pillow go over his face until the machine started to beep. And I saw who did it. My dad.
This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made.
How do you think that impacted her views of her mother, you know, in that choice in particular?
I feel like, to me, it just seems like something came over Ginny. I think when she visits Georgia in jail and she just sees how defeated she is.
Joe and Cynthia were having an affair while Tom was alive. You can use that. It would make Cynthia look really guilty and... Oh my God, you knew. But then why? Why haven't you used that?
Because I can't do that to her.
Now you have a conscience?
Not even willing to throw Cynthia under the bus, like saying that maybe Austin's better off with Gil. I think Ginny sees, like, she's like, who is this person? Like, oh no, oh no. So at that moment, that's when she's like, you know what, screw this. If I have to be the one to do it, I'm going to do it. And I mean, like mother, like daughter.
What do we do?
You remember what the fancy lawyer said? It's a murder trial. We have to give them a murderer.
That's Mom.
Maybe.
Who? Cynthia?
What if Gil was there that night? We already know that he's violent. He has a criminal record. He'd be perfect.
Ginny this season is, I mean, she goes through so much, right? Including a pregnancy and an eventual abortion. What was your reaction when you read that and how Ginny and Georgia handled that situation?
Well, it wasn't a blind side, so that's good. I
Right, you
knew
knew
going
about it.
into, which is so great about our show creator, is that we're aware, more or less, before we do something, what we're doing.
Right.
So that way, you know, there's plenty of time to prepare and decide on how we're going to actually portray this part of the story. And so I knew going in that this was something that was going to happen to Ginny, and my first reaction was like, oh my gosh, this poor girl.
Right.
Can't she just like...
Get a break.
But, you know, I know that it was important because in so many ways, these two characters, I always say, are a reflection of each other. And in this case, you know, Georgia had her kids when she was very young, around the same age as Ginny.
Okay.
I really didn't want it to be positive. I mean, I knew it would be, but
You want to take a night? Think about this?
no. I'm sure. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
And Ginny, who is also 16, getting pregnant, she has a decision. She's faced with the same choice that her mother was faced with. And I think it's just so beautiful to see these two characters come together and support each other through Ginny's agency of choosing for herself what is best for her. And no one sways her decision, no one manipulates any sort of aspect of it. She chooses and feels safe enough to choose for herself what it is that she needs, and then is supported by her parents and by Marcus. And you keep it moving, like you keep it. I think what's great about what we did with the storyline is that we kept it straightforward, and that this is sort of the crux of it all. It's just the choice that you make and the support that you need to make that choice.
I hear your voice and my heart's kick-started.
Do you want to go get some ice cream?
The crowd somewhere around the edge of the apartment.
Okay.
It's been a few months.
I think it's a moment of relief and it's a moment of reprieve, and I think it's when you're dealing with a season that kind of goes as intensely as it does into these really dark moments, to have these moments of light and you know the moments where you see Marcus happiest this season is when he's with Ginny.
Right.
And you know, that's a joy to play. That's a joy to have, to break up the season through the 6 months that you're shooting, to be able to, like, this is a really bright moment, you know, and it brings some light and shade. You know, you can't have the darkness without the light. You have to be able to move from these moments of levity.
No, you left without giving me a hug.
You also played this sadness really well where you're like, oh, I want to kiss her.
Yeah.
But I know that I can't because I have to take care of myself right now.
He's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it so sad, is like looking at how he tries to deal with everything that he's faced with. He's trying to do the right thing, and he's trying to show up in the way that he wants it to be, like be the person that he wants to be, and he just can't quite get there.
Maybe it's that too, he knows what Ginny deserves. He's like, okay, I'm not that yet.
Exactly.
There was also a moment at the end of this season that, you know, gives us fans, some hope.
Yeah, you know, I always feel for the two of them. I love them together, but they very desperately need to heal on their own before they can be one. They need to be one on their own before they can be whole together. And I think Felix does such a great job this season in portraying Marcus's mental health struggles and his journey. It's just so beautiful, and I think even more so what's beautiful is we witness just how much it impacts his family and his loved ones, this self-destructive behavior.
Felix Marcus is going through a lot this season. He's going on quite the journey, and I want to know, how does his experience with addiction and also working on his sobriety kind of impact specifically his relationship with Ginny and also his family?
Definitely. I think it's just like, I mean, like most people who struggle with substance, I think it's a coping mechanism gone wrong.
I saw the bottles in the garage.
Yeah, so?
Come on, Marcus, do you have a problem?
No, seriously. Don't make this dramatic. It's not a big deal, okay?
If you need help, we can go talk to Mom and
I don't have a problem. If you tell Mom and Dad, I will never speak to you again.
And we kind of see that with Marcus. We kind of see this initial self-medicating kind of space that allows him to show up in ways that he can't. He doesn't have the space to. And it kind of reaches a tipping point where he can't show up at all because of his coping mechanism and because of his behavior. Right. So it kind of exacerbates anything. Just like with any substance abuse problem, I think you just completely you can get lost in it. So we kind of see it kind of erode any sense of a support network that he had. He burns every bridge he has, he burns everyone around him until the coal is too hot to hold on to and he has to go somewhere to fix it.
Totally. But like you mentioned, it also doesn't just impact him, it impacts everybody around him, his support system. And Sara, I mean, we see Max really protective of Marcus this season.
I hate me! I hate me! You understand? I hate me!
Mom, he has a problem, and he needs help. He needs rehab.
I mean, describe their relationship dynamic in season 3 and how it shifts.
I think Marcus is one of the most important people in Max's life. I think they are so intertwined, and it's funny because like they are obviously so opposite, but I do think there's like a common ground there that they love each other so much. I think Max struggles with the choice to either seek help for him or be that help herself. And I think she tries to be the help herself because
a lot on someone's
it's a lot to carry, especially because Marcus is so specific about who he lets in. And I don't think that Max takes that, that position lightly.
Right.
But it's really heartbreaking because, I mean, eventually she gets to a point where she can't do it alone anymore, and she admits that to herself. And so she pulls the parents in, and that feels like total betrayal to Marcus. And, we were just talking about how he burns every bridge, but I think what's interesting about Max is that at the end of the season, like, he's quite awful to her a little bit. Like, he's mean.
Marcus.
Oh.
I'm begging you, please.
No.
You know what? One more.
And she doesn't care because she just wants him to get the help that he needs.
Now, are we hoping to see more Ginny and Marcus in season 4?
I do have high hopes for them, but I know that it sometimes has to, as clearly Ginny and Georgia, it has to get worse before it gets better.
Right,
so.
But do you think they're endgame?
Oh, I hope so.
Me too. Do you?
There will be an
I want it to be
angry, there will be an angry mob if they aren't.
Do you think they're endgame?
Yes.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. I think a huge portion of Marcus's self-growth has been inspired by Ginny and wanting to be good for Ginny. I mean, I hope that he's doing that mostly for himself. Right. I hope rehab does that for him. But I do think that they are so solid together, and they are both kind of like wounded souls that find this comfort with each other.
Yeah.
And so I'm very much team Marcus and Ginny, yeah.
Felix, what will it take? I mean, do you think they're endgame?
Yes, absolutely. And I think, constantly Ginny has always made Marcus reevaluate his ideas of his sense of self, his sense of love, his sense of understanding. And I think they're endgame. I think what it'll take is self-love from Marcus. I think he really needs to value himself enough to deal with his behavioral issues and to deal with like his big feelings enough to show up the way that he wants to.
This season ends on another cliffhanger. Shocking, I know.
Right.
Another pregnancy, but Georgia's.
Mom, you can't escape change. Didn't you say you drink milk when you're pregnant?
I mean, what do you hope to see from Georgia next season, and how would a new baby kind of change the dynamic of everything?
Well, I think just that. It's going to change the dynamic of everything. I think first and foremost, it'll be very interesting for Georgia to discover that that's what's happened, because as of now, only Ginny is onto her, which of course tracks. So yes, I'm very nervous for Georgia to start having some of these conversations.
Change is inevitable.